everybody, I'm Merisu the Art Sheep, and thank you so much for checking out this video. And today I'm drawing our Dorothy Wayneright from the anime series Big O, or as some people call it. I don't know. I actually just watched this anime this year. I started in, I think, March, finished it around April. A friend of mine actually asked me if I wanted to watch this. We were looking for things to watch, and he suggested this, and I was very intrigued when I started watching this because I heard that it was made by the creator. I'm not sure if it's the creator or if it's someone who just, like, one of the main writers. I didn't do research for this review. It's a never famous sheep no script review, so we're not professional here, folks. We don't get things right. So if I'm wrong, correct me. But anyway, it was someone who worked on the anime Hellsing. I'm pretty sure it was the creator of Hellsing and Serial Experiment Lane. Now, Hellsing, I've seen clips of it. I know the plot. I don't watch it. It's not for me. Just a little too out there. Serial Experiment Lane, have watched. I liked it. It's not my favorite. My brother's a big fan. I even bought him Serial Experiment Lane stickers from Etsy to give to him for Christmas, and I think they're on his laptop. That is, if they're still, like, in the wrapper, I don't know. But, I was very interested in this once I found out that this was the creator. Also, I realized that this was actually very big in America. In fact, it was so big in America that an American company, I think it was an Adult Swim, like I said, professional here, folks. Only the bare things that I remember, not facts. Anyway, it was, I think it was Adult Swim or Toonami or something. That's not American, is it? Anyway, they're the ones who funded season 2 because it wasn't so big in Japan, but it was very popular in America at the time of when it came out in the early 2000s, and that's what gave us season 2, and then, as it started going on, I think, like, it needed to wrap up faster than it intended because the money was drying out or something, and then they had to do the wrap up a little bit faster than they wanted, and it kind of shows. So the main series, the main premise of the series is Roger Smith is a negotiator, and he lives in a futuristic city that's kind of isolated, and then there's, like, more cities out there, or so they know, but I forgot the name of the city. Facts and logic, folks. Facts and logic. But anyway, nobody in this Paradigm City, nobody remembers, nobody has any recollection of their past. Some people do, but it's very few. Most people don't, and they're kind of guided on what they think their past lives might have been, but they're just really guessing about. But Roger Smith is a negotiator, and one day he ends up negotiating to get someone's kidnapped daughter back. And it turns out that kidnapped daughter is actually a robot created by the father, who is in fact a scientist. And he ends up dying, and then Roger Smith ends up taking in the robot, our Dorothy Wayneright, and the R stands for robot, folks. And it's pretty much just about the adventures they go on, and then there's kind of an overarching story. Like, it's pretty epistolic, but there is this, like, story that happens in the background that's kind of connected, and there'll always be parts where it pops up and such. And that's something that's can get a little confusing. So like I said, I was watching this with a friend, and so we were kind of talking and making jokes as we were watching it, so there were some moments where I wasn't paying attention, and by the time it got to the end, I really didn't know what was going on. He definitely didn't know what was going on. Like, I kind of felt like I knew, but then it kind of lost me, and it just ends. It's kind of melancholy because, like I said, it was very fast. It kind of does fit the aesthetic. Like I said, this was really big in America. One reason why is because it took a lot of inspiration from Western media, such as James Bond and Batman the Animated Series. In fact, Roger Smith is pretty much like James Bond and Bruce Wayne. Very similar, got a lot of aesthetic similarities, and also just like, personality, although he's a lot more chill than Bruce is, but he does have a lot of similarities with Bruce Wayne, and I really did like that, and it was really, really fun to just see an anime that's been really heavily inspired by the West, and like I said, it's also very, like, noir style, and so it's got a lot of cool jazz and stuff. We watched the English dub. I don't know any of the cast except for Steve Blum. Well, I do know of actually quite a bit of the cast, but Steve Blum ends up playing the Roger Smith, and Weddy Lee ends up playing another female character named Angel, and that's pretty much the only cast members whose names I remember. I'm not so good with names. I really do like our Dorothy Wayneright's story. I wasn't sure if I would like her because she's a robot, and robots' lives don't matter. So I wasn't sure how I feel about her, but I actually really did enjoy her character. I love their design. That's why I'm drawing her. And overall, I think I would give the show a 6, maybe a 5. I always hate giving shows a 5 because people who don't know me think that a 5 is just the worst thing ever because no one wants to waste their time on it. A 5. They want to watch something that's above average. That's why people view a 5 so bad. That's why I think that, but I don't think a 5 is bad, and I think it definitely is good. If you definitely are a mecha fan, you like it. I think this actually used to be a staple for mecha fans, which is kind of sad because I don't think very many people know about it. I mean, I know I definitely didn't. I'm not gonna even pretend that I knew. If I did, like I said, it's been in the back of my head, but I do think it kind of just got forgotten about, but a lot of animes just got forgotten about, like even some of the big ones. Like, I can't believe how many people in modern anime fandom have never heard of Haruhi Suzumiya, and I'm just like, what? This girl was basically the mascot for anime. I mean, I know that's kind of weird to say, like, you know, just one singular mascot, but that is how big she was. She did seem like she was, like, the mascot of anime and such. It was just, but now people don't even know her, and it's just kind of sad that there's a lot of good media from the past and people won't even bother checking it out because it's old and decrepit. But me, here on the Sheep channel, folks, I only check out the stuff that I'm interested in, and the stuff that gets recommended to me by people I know, and because of that, it doesn't matter if it's trendy or not, I will give it a watch if it's something that interests me, and this definitely did interest me. Like I said, the ending's a little bit rough. If you want actual proper review of it, I recommend watching the review by the YouTuber The Almighty Lolly, or Tal for short, and he did a really good review of it, and he goes into more of the actual facts and stuff. But I can just give you my emotional point of view. I'm a woman. It's all I'm good for. But yeah, I did really enjoy it nonetheless, and I did have a lot of fun. Would it go on my top 10 list, though? Probably not even my top 20. So do with that information as you will. But I do think it is something that it does need to be watched, because I think it is just something that's really enjoyable. If I watched this when I was younger, I think I would have liked it even more. Especially if I watched it, like, I don't think I would have watched it, like, when I was really, there's, like, not much, like, violence or profanity in it, like, at all. Violence is rarely, like, none. Profanity, like, there's some moments where it's, like, a little bit more above what's usually said and such, and for most people, that wouldn't bother them at all. But, like, I mean, if I was a kid, I wouldn't want to see that, so I would just be like, I don't think I could watch this when I was a real kid. But if I saw this when I was 15, I would have loved it even more than I probably did. But as an adult, I still did find a lot to enjoy about it. But the ending was a little bit, it was a little bit out there, so just take that with a grain of salt. I actually saw this post on Twitter. It was this experience of, like, this picture of people going to the theater all excited, and then they come out was just meh. And the funniest thing is that I've actually rarely ever had that experience with theaters. Like, I've had that theater experience, like, practically zero. And then TV show wise, like, things I've watched at home, I still have hardly ever had it. The one reason why is because I just don't waste time my money is valuable, my time is even more valuable. I just don't like watching things that I'm not 100% sure about. I'll actually watch something that I know is bad. Like, I watched Wish, that movie from, that god-awful Disney movie from 2023. I watched that over something that I'm not sure about, because at least that I know what I'm getting into, and I know I'm gonna laugh at it because of how bad it is, and I'll get a review out of it, a 2-hour review at that, and that was pretty much, that's all fine and dandy and such, but it is like something I could at least enjoy, whereas if it's something that I'm not sure about, I don't really want to waste the time on it. Like, I just now watched Interstellar by Christopher Nolan, and it took me a while to watch it because I was just like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it, and I just don't want to waste my time. And I even watched it as I was doing things at first. I sat, once I realized, oh, this is actually a pretty good movie, I sat down and actually gave my full attention. But even when I'm split doing something, like multitasking, I'm just like, I got ever things to do. I got so much media. I just finished a stream by Karish, and I was like, well, I also want to read the Hunger Game listen to the Hunger Game audiobook. So it's just like, I got so much I want to do, and it's just like, there's only so little time. I want to play automata games. I want to watch streams. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to catch up with the news, so that way I'm not completely in the dark if the world freaking blows up. I guess I want to know that for some reason. So it's just like, there's so much stuff. So if it's like, if I'm gonna sit down and watch something, it's got to be something good. So I've actually never really had that experience, because I am very careful about what I watch, because I just don't want to waste my time on stupid. That's not to say I haven't watched a few stupid things, but movie theater wise, I've definitely not had that experience. The only time I actually did was free times, and all those movies were movies that my parents took me to when I was younger, because they thought, oh, this is something we could do as a family and we enjoy it. I don't remember, it was Mr. Toy's Emporium or something, I don't know, and one ever film, like The Man Who Invented Christmas and The Greatest Showman. The Greatest Showman I actually did come out liking, but then once I thought about it more, I didn't really like it. I don't really like that movie at all. The music's kind of good, though. The music's kind of good. It could be better, though. But anyway, enough of that. We're finishing up with the drawing. As you can see, I went for a very much more painted kind of look. I was kind of going off of Hananatsu style here. I used her brushes, actually, to color and draw most of this. I got it from her potato brush pack, and had a lot of fun with it. I like how it looks. No background, just did a simple pattern background because I need more practice on my actual building backgrounds. But even if I did it, I would still probably just do like a pattern background, because it's just like, I don't think I need to do something like really detailed for this. I just wanted I wanted Dorothy to be the focus. And yeah, I'm really proud of it. I actually really do like it. I think she turned out really cute. I didn't give her highlights. I kept on wanting to give her highlights, but she actually doesn't have highlights in her eyes because of the way she is. Her skin's chalk white. Her hair is bright red. She's got certain bags under her eyes, and no highlights. She looks like a clown, but that's actually kind of what I like about her, and I like her dress. I agree with Roger Smith. You should wear black. And he's a louse. Anyway, that was the video. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked, do all the YouTube things. If you didn't, thanks for watching this far anyway. Until then, bye!